Chosen one, October 2nd is your perfect day. Listen. From the beginning of time, moments were written in advance, carefully positioned in ways that no one could anticipate. And October 2nd stands as one of those days. It is not simply another square on the calendar, not just another date passing by unnoticed. This day carries weight. It carries alignment. It carries the unseen hand of God, pressing down into the fabric of your story, opening paths, setting the stage, pulling threads together that you never knew were connected. To you, it might feel like you've been waiting, as if your entire life has been a collection of pauses, delays, and detours. But October 2nd is different. It is the day where the unseen becomes seen, the whispered becomes declared, and the hidden work of God reveals itself as undeniable reality in your life. Watch this video until the end, because you need to receive every word. And write your warmest wishes in the comments and seal them with the number 777. By doing this, you're not only sending your intention out, but you are energizing the universe itself, declaring to God and to every force around you that you are ready for October 2nd to become your perfect day. Now, chosen one, press the hype button under the video and like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Imagine the timeline of your life like a woven fabric. Every thread pulled, every knot tied, every intersection leading into another. For years, you may have wondered why certain things happened, why opportunities slipped away, why certain doors closed, right when you thought you had finally arrived. But in the grand design of God, the fabric was not yet complete. October 2nd comes as the moment when the weaving is revealed, when the design suddenly makes sense. You will look back on closed doors and realize they were redirections. You will reflect on delays and see them as divine pauses that kept you aligned with something bigger. The perfect day does not happen randomly. It is constructed by unseen hands, and October 2nd is proof of that construction. What looks like chance is not chance at all. What feels like coincidence is orchestration. You are walking into a day where heaven itself has decided that the story must move forward, and nothing can stop it. The beauty of October 2nd is not in its ordinary hours, but in how extraordinary those hours become when aligned with God's intention. It is a day that carries unusual clarity, a day where the noise falls away and the signal becomes clear. The things you once second-guessed no longer hold confusion. The paths you thought were uncertain will suddenly reveal themselves with undeniable signs. God is not a God of confusion, but of clarity. And October 2nd is written as a day where that clarity is handed to you like a sealed letter finally delivered. The questions that haunted you begin to lose power. The battles you thought would last forever meet their end. The fog you've been walking through begins to lift. This is the kind of shift that makes you realize you were never walking alone. That every step, even the stumbling ones, were still being guided. It is the unveiling of divine timing, wrapped into the simplicity of a single date. October 2nd is not only perfect because of what you see, it is perfect because of what is unseen. The movements you cannot calculate, the doors being unlocked in rooms you have never stepped into, the conversations being spoken about your name without you being present. These are the hidden layers of your perfect day. You might not hear them in the moment, but you will feel the result. You may not witness the exact second the tide shifts, but you will wake up in its reality. God is behind those unseen actions, orchestrating like a conductor who knows the exact moment to bring in every instrument. And when the music plays, you will feel the harmony of everything finally coming together. This is why October 2nd is your perfect day, because the unseen has been building for this reveal, and the reveal cannot be denied. Some days pass without leaving a mark, but others etch themselves permanently into your spirit. October 2nd will be one of those etched days. It will mark the end of waiting seasons and the start of unfolding ones. It will carry the fragrance of completion, of cycles closing so that new ones can begin. The tears you once cried will not define this day, but the joy of what those tears watered will, seeds planted long ago, hidden beneath the soil of time, begin to break through the surface under the sunlight of this perfect day. It is not about sudden magic, but about divine timing. The soil was not ready until now. The roots were not deep enough until now, and the conditions could not carry growth until now. October 2nd is when the roots prove their strength by bringing forth visible fruit. You will not just sense it internally. You will see it, touch it, live it. This day will also stand as a declaration to everything that opposed you. The forces that tried to convince you that you were forgotten. The circumstances that tried to break you. The shadows that whispered you would never rise. All of them will be silenced. October 2nd carries a loud announcement written by God's hand. You were never forgotten. You were always being prepared, and your perfect day is now. What was working against you will not have power to stop what is for you. The weight of delay cannot stand against the force of divine release. On this day, the universe does not whisper. It resounds. It resounds with alignment, with breakthroughs, with confirmations. It resounds with the evidence that your journey was not in vain. Every ounce of waiting, every silent prayer, every midnight question finds its echo in the perfection of this day. Chosen one, when October 2nd arrives, the world around you may see just another sunrise. But for you, it is the sunrise that lights up everything differently. It is the dawn that does not fade, because once God declares something perfect, no imperfection can overshadow it. Your perfect day has no competition, because it is sealed by divine authority. This day belongs to you, written into your story, handed into your hands, unshakable, undeniable, unforgettable. October 2nd continues not as a simple continuation of your life, but as a doorway that ushers you into a different rhythm. It is the kind of day where everything feels orchestrated with an invisible hand, as if each step you take lands on a stage that was set long before you even realized you were meant to stand there. It does not matter how ordinary the beginning of that day may look. It carries an undercurrent of divine movement. The skies above may appear the same. The routine may seem familiar. Yet there is an energy that makes the very air feel charged. The ordinary is no longer ordinary. The smallest encounter, the slightest word spoken, or even a chance glance at something can suddenly become a sign that the hidden order of God is pressing through into your reality. This is what makes October 2nd different. It's not just about the visible, but about the alignment that courses underneath it all. Think about how seasons work in nature. A tree does not bear fruit in winter, no matter how much it was desired. The harvest will not come until the time is right. But when spring arrives and the sun tilts in its favor, the tree does not need to strain to produce. It simply does what it was designed to do. October 2nd is like that. A shift in the atmosphere that tells everything connected to you that the season has changed. It tells your spirit that the waiting has completed its work. It tells your path that what was blocked must now be cleared. And it tells the blessings that have been circling above your life that it is time to descend. This day is not manufactured by human effort, but declared by God's timing. That's why the change feels so effortless, why the impossible begins to seem natural, and why the weight of what you carried for so long begins to lift. You are not forcing the outcome. The outcome is simply being revealed. As October 2nd unfolds, you may begin to notice how the echoes of your past align with the present moment. The lessons you thought were painful become resources. The connections you thought were lost show up again in unexpected ways. The disappointments that once bruised you reveal themselves as necessary redirections. On this perfect day, nothing is wasted. Every misstep is woven into the story. Every delay carries meaning. Every closed door makes sense. You begin to see that you were never moving randomly, but always guided through corridors that now converge. It is as if 1,000 scattered puzzle pieces suddenly lock into place, and you can finally see the picture that was hidden in fragments. And the truth of that picture is this: October 2nd was always meant for you, chosen for you, and crafted with your name written into it. It is important to understand that a perfect day in the hands of God does not mean it is free of challenge. It means it is free of defeat. There may still be storms that try to whisper doubt. There may still be shadows that attempt to cast themselves over your light, but they will not succeed. On October 2nd, every challenge you face will be overshadowed by the undeniable evidence of breakthrough. You may feel the winds, but you will also see the walls crumble. You may hear the noise of resistance, but you will also witness the sound of openings that cannot be shut. This is the paradox of divine timing. The obstacles may still appear, but they no longer have authority over you. They are reduced to background noise, powerless against the hand of God that is lifting you forward. That is why October 2nd is your perfect day, because it carries not only blessings but also the victory over anything that tries to oppose those blessings. October 2nd also arrives with a sense of recognition. There are moments when it feels like the world has overlooked you, like the things you carry inside. Your gifts, your dreams, your endurance have gone unseen. But the perfect day is designed to correct that narrative. Suddenly, the things you carried quietly in the shadows become visible. Suddenly, the effort you poured out unnoticed becomes acknowledged. Suddenly, your name is remembered in rooms that once ignored it. On October 2nd, recognition is not a matter of chance but of divine timing. God has a way of turning the spotlight at the exact moment it is needed. And this is the day the light shines. You will not need to explain yourself. You will not need to fight for your place. The day itself will speak on your behalf. The atmosphere will declare that you are meant to be seen, and no one will be able to deny it. Chosen one, October 2nd carries with it a rhythm of release. It is the kind of release that comes after years of carrying burdens you thought would never be lifted. It is the exhale after holding your breath for far too long. It is the moment of stepping into a space where you no longer have to wonder if it will happen. Because it is happening. This release may not look the same for everyone. For some, it will appear as financial breakthrough. For others, it may manifest as reconciliation, healing, or opportunity. But whatever it looks like, it carries the same essence: freedom. Freedom from what weighed you down. Freedom from cycles that seemed unending. Freedom from fears that tried to cage you. October 2nd breaks those patterns, not through human strength, but by divine orchestration. God declares release, and when God declares it, no force can reverse it. The perfection of this day is also found in how it reshapes your perspective. After October 2nd, you will not see your past in the same way. The things you once considered failures will no longer sting as they once did. The doubts you carried will lose their grip. The disappointments will become distant memories, overshadowed by the magnitude of what has been given. The weight shifts so completely that you cannot even look back the same way. This is the kind of shift that redefines identity, that restores dignity, that reignites joy. It is the kind of shift that reminds you that you were never defined by your hardest days, but by the day God chose to declare perfect. October 2nd becomes a marker, a before and after in your story. Everything leading up to it becomes preparation, and everything after it becomes manifestation. This day, October 2nd, has been wrapped in divine timing. It does not arrive too early, and it certainly does not arrive too late. It is exact, precise, and unshakable. When you step into it, you step into more than just hours and minutes. You step into alignment with heaven's decree. You are walking into something that has been waiting for you, something that was not ready until you were ready. And now, everything aligns. The perfection of this day lies in its inevitability. It could not be stopped. It could not be delayed any longer. And it could not be rerouted. It was always yours, always written. And now it is here. October 2nd is not simply a chapter in your calendar. It is a chapter in your destiny. When God marks a day as perfect, it carries weight that reaches beyond the hours themselves. Imagine walking into a room where everything has already been prepared for you. The table set, the place reserved, the light shining just right, and the atmosphere ready for your arrival. That is what October 2nd feels like in the spirit. It is not about you trying to create perfection, but about stepping into perfection that has already been created for you. Everything about this day is intentional. The people you cross paths with, the words that rise in your heart, the subtle signs you notice, they are not scattered events. They are proof that you have entered the space God designed for you. A space where alignment is no longer something you long for, but something you live in. There are moments in life when it feels as though time itself bends. Hours move differently. Conversations feel charged. Even silence carries meaning. That is what October 2nd becomes, a bending of time to fit the destiny God has written. It is as though heaven and earth agree to stop resisting each other, and for a brief yet powerful span, they move in rhythm. That rhythm pulls you forward, placing you where you were always meant to be. You may not have understood the waiting. You may not have welcomed the delays. But on October 2nd, the purpose of those delays becomes undeniable. Every pause carried you to this door. Every closed path funneled you into this corridor. Every heartbreak softened your spirit for the joy you are about to experience. Without those moments, you would not be able to carry what is being released into your hands on this day. Think of October 2nd as the day of unveiling. The curtain has been drawn for so long, keeping you in a place where you had to believe without seeing, trust without proof, and walk without clarity. But the curtain is not meant to remain closed forever. On October 2nd, the fabric lifts. What was hidden steps into view. What was uncertain begins to stand as undeniable. You will sense it in your bones before you even see it with your eyes, that something has shifted, that something greater has arrived, and once it is revealed, it cannot be hidden again. That is the power of a perfect day. It transforms forever. You cannot go back to the blindness you once endured because your sight has been expanded. You cannot shrink to the place you once lived in because your spirit has grown too wide for it. This unveiling changes you as much as it changes your circumstances. There is also something about this day that carries vindication. The voices that questioned you, the doubts that rose around you, the moments when you were dismissed or underestimated, all of them meet their answer on October 2nd. Vindication does not always come in the form of confrontation. Often it comes in the form of undeniable evidence. And on this perfect day, evidence becomes your language. Evidence that you were not forgotten. Evidence that your prayers were heard. Evidence that your endurance was not wasted. You will not need to argue, because the day itself speaks louder than any defense you could have made. God has a way of proving His presence without you lifting a hand, and October 2nd stands as one of those proofs. It silences critics, quiets doubters, and establishes your place without you needing to justify it. The perfection of October 2nd is also in its overflow. It is not just about one blessing or one moment. It is about a ripple that extends beyond the day itself. The shift that happens here does not end when the clock strikes midnight. Instead, it becomes a wave that continues to move through the rest of your story. The seeds of this day sprout into weeks, months, even years of unfolding blessings. It becomes a marker, a reference point you will always remember. You will look back and say, "That was the day it all began to move." And every time you remember, you will feel the same current of gratitude wash over you. It is not a fleeting high, but a permanent elevation. What God sets in motion on October 2nd will not collapse. It will carry momentum that sustains itself long after the day has passed.